Hi, I'm Hadiza and welcome to PNC podcast. I'm here today with Mahi.
Hi.
And Bella.
Hello.
Who will be helping me interview a very special guest who was a former Prospect North student, Anna Phan.
Hi guys.
A warm welcome to Anna Phan, who recently graduated Year 7 in 2019 and is now a finalist in the Leadership Award section of the SA Young Achievers Award. We are very proud of this achievement here at Prospect North Primary School, and thank you for coming to join our podcast.
Thanks for having me.
What do you think of our new setup here in the PNTV studio?
It looks very nice and very professional.
Does it feel a bit strange to be back so soon after being here as a student?
Well, I always thought I'd come back to either visit or help mentor some teams, but a lot has changed, so it is kind of strange. But
Yeah. So tell us about the awards. How did you get involved and why have you been nominated? What's been the process so far?
So I was nominated by the Rotary Club of Prospect, one of our major FLL team sponsors, and it was for my work with the teams throughout 2017, 18 and 19 FLL seasons, and it was just for, I guess, me leading or help lead the team to the success we have now.
So what happens next?
So I made it through to the semi-finalist as a semi-finalist, and now to the next stage, which is finalist. And there will be a presentation dinner in May for us to just meet the other finalists and just a whole night to share what has been accomplished and announce the winners.
Have you been surprised about making it this far?
Yes, I really have. I didn't think I'd get further than just a nomination, but when it hit semi-finalists, I was really proud, and now finalists, so I'm just really proud.
We're all proud of you.
Yeah. Do you think you have a chance of winning?
I guess it would be great, but I'm really proud of where I've made it to so far, and there are a lot of other amazing finalists as well, so
Yeah.
all the best to them as well.
Good luck.
So you went all the way through from reception to Year 7 here at Prospect North Primary School. What are some of your early memories of primary school?
One of the first memories I have is actually on the reception transition day, where we had to spend like a day in the class, and I thought it would go for the whole day. But when it hit lunchtime, I found out that I had to go, and my mum was really trying to get me out of that class, but I didn't want to go because I made some great new friends, and I met my teacher, and I was just really excited to start school, but we ended up having to go home.
Sadly.
So you have become well known for your involvement in FLL, which stands for First Lady League here at our school. How did that all get started?
So it was back in 2017 when I wasn't really a part of much leadership yet, but my friend, Prepline, she invited me and another friend to go join this new thing called Digital Leaders, which is not so new now, but we were just learning how to use new robotics, and I think at the time it was we were learning, and after I think 2 sessions, we were introduced to First Lego League, something the school wanted to be a part of, and one of the first things we had to do was make a Google video, so just to ask for sponsorship.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just where it started.
For the casual listeners or those who aren't familiar with FLL, what exactly is FLL and how does it work?
FLL stands for First Lego League, and it is an international robotics competition, and it is where you code and build EV3 Mindstorms to do a set of challenges on a game table, and those challenges will be around a theme. So each year there's a new theme. For the past 3 years it's been hydrodynamics, which was all about water, into orbit about space and space exploration, and last year's was City Shaper, which was about spaces in your community and buildings.
Yeah.
And they, along with all the robotics, which is why some people join, there's also other aspects such as robot design and also research project.
Yeah.
Along with the theme again, we choose a project to do, and then to research about with the theme, and then we choose how we will present it to a set of judges on the day.
What roles have you had in your FLL teams?
For the first season, I guess I was an all-rounder kind of. I kind of started with building, but then I moved to research and helped with the how we were going to present the project, and it ended up being like a little play. Then the second year, I was really a part of sponsorship and building connections with other people and getting the team really together, and to do core values activities such as anonymous peer reviews, which didn't really work, but yeah. And last year is just helping to start not a new team, but like a new group of people to work together. Yeah.
So you were the leader last year?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
What other leadership things have you been involved with here at Prospect North Primary School?
I've been involved in peer mediators, digital leaders, where we've held a few workshops. I've also been a part of running some conferences for the Kids Teach STEM. I think 2 Junior Lego League expos where the Junior Lego League team came and did their little reviews and core values activities.
I think you were also a captain or a vice captain of sports day last year as well.
Vice captain for the yellow team last year.
Yeah. So tell us about Synergetics and how the whole idea started of a long-term team aiming for success came out.
So it was the end of 2017 season, so kind of beginning of 2018's year, and we wanted to bring the team back together, and we decided that we were going to make a team that could like build a legacy for a team to continue on after we all leave. And we were we were going back and forth on names, first of all, because we knew that all good teams had a long-lasting name. Yes. And we were originally going to be the Pie Eaters, but with the pie symbol, and I'm so glad we did not do that. And we all ended up agreeing on Synergetics, originally Synergy, because it was based off our strongest strength, which was working together, communicating, teamwork. And we mixed it with the word robotics, so now it's Synergetics.
Oh, okay. How did you manage to get Rotary Club of Prospect involved as a sponsor?
It was when me and a friend volunteered to give the president at the time, Lynn, a certificate of gratitude or appreciation for their donation of microscopes to the younger year levels. After that, we decided that we wanted to show them our FLL and what we were doing with that, and ask for sponsorship. And after that, we were invited to a youth night where we listened to other speakers talk about how Rotary sponsorship has helped them, and also we got to do a little talk on what we do with FLL and what it is in our school.
So in your 3 years, you and your team have been to 7 different championships, including 3 national championships. Which was your favourite championship and why?
I mean, I love all of them because without the first or second, there wouldn't be a third. But
True.
Yeah.
I would say I really loved the second one, 2018, because that was the first year of Synergetics, and that's when the team was really at its peak, I guess. But the other 2 years I loved as well. The first year was the first time we got to go to nationals, and everything was so new, and I got to do it with a group of people who I later on got to be really close with. And last year's season was so good as well because we got to go with this newer team, Interfusion, and we got to share it with new people and just to the people who will continue that on now, and it was amazing.
What about the different trophies your team won? And if you could pick one to take home today, which one would you take and why?
I would take home the first season, so 2017 season's national award, because that was when we, I guess, the first beginnings and the first really successful time we've been together as a team, and just where it all started
Yeah.
What's the funniest moment or situation that you can remember from your FLL years?
So it wasn't my personal story, but I think it was in 2017, where one of my team members we were at the hotel, and we walked in when they found that there was someone else in their room. But something that was more related to that was, I guess they never got our name right. we were always called Synergenetics or Synergy or yeah. So when they finally got our name right, that was one of the best moments, and we really celebrated that.
Yeah. When did you feel the most pressure?
I guess wasn't really in competition, but when we were prepping for it last year, when I found out that two of my other team members were going to start a new team, and I felt like starting a team by myself would be really hard and that we wouldn't be as successful as previous years.
Yeah.
But it was a great decision, and now we have two teams that are so good and that are going to be continued by students that are still here today.
Yeah, great. What about your proudest moment or moment that still makes you feel a bit emotional?
Proudest moment would be just when we made it to nationals last year, because I felt like I wasn't that good of a leader for the team. But the saddest moment would really be when the winners were announced for the trophy presentation for the last season, because it was really coming to an end, and that the past 3 years are really over, and like I know everyone has to move on, but it's still very emotional.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about your close friend Minjung and how important she has been to your success.
We've been through it 2 years together, so we've been friends for most of primary school, but when we joined Lego League, we joined together, and the sponsorships and everything, we worked on it together. So when she moved schools to Melbourne, that was really hard, but she still came to nationals for the second year, because she flew from Melbourne to Sydney, and it was really good to see her again and to see what we kind of started together.
Could you tell us a bit more about how she nearly didn't get to the 2018 national championship?
Well, I think she slept in and she missed the there was a lot of traffic as well. So by the time she got there, the gates were closed, so she couldn't get on, so she couldn't board. And I remember Mr. Wegner telling us that he got a call really early in the morning from her mum saying that, oh no, they've missed the plane, they weren't going to make it. And she was definitely very mad at her mum for that. But they figured it out and they got different plane tickets. They arrived a little later, but it was after one of our judging sessions, or I think our practice round. So when we got back to the pit area and we saw her, everyone was just so glad that she made it and that she could be there.
Yeah, that's a good thing. After the success of 2018, tell us a little bit about the season in 2019, the formation of Interfusion and how you handled those changes.
So there were a lot of applications to join FLL, not a specific team yet. And when we found out that we were going to make another team with two of the previous people in Synergetics, it was kind of hard because we didn't know how that was going to work, because everything was going to be different and the whole timeline was a little different.
Yeah.
But we tried to look through the applications to see who was committed, and not only on what they could learn, but also their communication skills and teamwork, because one thing that we took out of the last 2 years was experience could be built. Like you can learn to do more research, you can learn to build and code, but the communication is really important, one of the key things that helps a team.
Yeah.
So we went through that and we got our teams and we did a little mini season, you could call it. We did the inter-orbit map. So we used that table to learn and code and work together as a team. And before that, there was some mini teams already before people got their applications in. It was just as an elective, I guess. And yeah, so when we were in our teams, we kind of split off to do we didn't do a research project because that would kind of be different for each season.
Yeah.
But we did try to see how people could work together. And some changes had been made to teams, but after the teams were finalised, we were off to start City Shaper.
Okay, time for some fun. So Mr. Wagner has kindly supplied us with some photos from the
Oh no.
archives.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
The first activity is called What Were You Thinking? So Bella and Mahi, you can play along.
Right.
I'll show you the picture this is a videoed podcast after all.
Yes.
And I want you to tell me what you were thinking. And I need Bella and Mahi to guess it first, and then you will actually tell us.
All right.
Okay, so the first picture is this one.
Oh, that's an old
So
one.
I have a couple options here. Maybe you could have had a brain freeze, or you didn't want anyone to take a photo of you.
Yeah. Bella?
Something close to
Or
that.
there looks like there's a game in it, or maybe you won something, or something failed, and you
Really?
look surprised or happy or kind of.
I think this was from last year. Oh no, 2 years ago into orbit, because I can tell from the shirt. I honestly don't know what I was thinking, but I definitely know I did not want my photo to be taken because my hand was covering my face. But it must have been maybe during when we had a long period of time between judging sessions or practice rounds. But yeah.
Okay, the second picture is this one.
Oh, that is so old.
It looks like you're confused.
Yeah, it looks like you're confused or just didn't know what was happening at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that was when we went down to Chala Gardens to help mentor a new team that also wanted to start.
Yeah.
And my team member Minjia, who was going on about quantum biology or something like that, and I did not know what he was talking about. So I was thinking, if I didn't know what he was talking about, how would everyone else? And they seemed a little bit uninterested.
Yeah.
So it was in a little bit of an awkward situation because I didn't want to cut him off because that would be rude of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Third picture is this one.
I think you
It
were
looks
just
like just like someone talk, someone say something.
yeah. It kind of looks like you're just looking at the person that's speaking, or
Yeah, so we were in our
pretty sure.
robot design judging last year's season, City Shaper, and I was just, I guess, thinking about what was being said and who was talking and if there was anything else that needed to be added in.
So looks really funny.
So
We were all very serious in that.
Yeah.
the fourth picture is this one.
You look very tired.
Yeah, you look really tired. It feels
That was from 2017, so baby face.
it looks like you're having a late
that was-
night or something like that.
That was definitely in one of the, I think, closing ceremonies,
yeah.
and we were all very tired from the 2 days, so yes,
Yeah.
I guess you guys were right for
Yeah,
that.
it looked like
Yeah.
you just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
Final picture.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
that's
god.
classic.
Looks like you want to go home and sleep.
It looks like you're sleepy, but you really want to win the game at the same time.
Yeah.
On point, Mahi. So, it was our second day of nationals in the first year, so hydrodynamics, and we were playing cheat, I think, because we were playing that the previous night, and I was on a winning streak. So in that photo, I was like, I'm tired. I need to get ready for the day, but I want to win this, and I'm going to win this.
So the second activity is called Please Explain.
No.
Where I show a photo with an interesting aspect and we ask Anna to please explain.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Let's get ready.
First one, okay?
So this was in 2018, and it was when Minjung caught the flight and she was late and she made it.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
that night?
Yeah,
Oh, it was that night? Okay,
So
yeah.
we came back from the venue from Macquarie University, and we did some shopping and during our break during lunch, and we got some face masks, and we wanted to really spend the night together, you know, kind of like a little slumber party, but not really.
Yeah.
So we all did face masks, and the boys were drinking peppermint tea. So while the boys were just making the tea and drinking it, we were having fun. We came out looking like that, and we took a photo and just memories.
Okay. Second picture is this one.
Another Minjung one.
Explain this one.
I think this was our second Rotary Youth Night, and this was when Minjung was in Melbourne already, and she has been a big part. So we wanted to really get her in the moment. So we took out one of the only photos we had of her, and we just took a photo with her with us.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. I want to do this one.
This is one of the more recent ones. We were
Was
waiting.
last year, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
last
year
year.
at nationals. No, at regionals, and we were waiting to go in for our robot design judging, and we were just doing wall sits because there wasn't enough chairs, and I was on the James was on the bottom. I went and sat on him, and then everyone was trying to sit on everyone to see how we could balance, until James couldn't hold it anymore and he fell, and we all did. So
Perfect timing.
So it was a photo taken before, an accident, I guess.
Okay, this is the final picture. Please explain. Nice catch.
Good catch.
Oh, this, yeah. I just weren't very happy with that, but it was very fun. So that was for our Into Orbit season. This was at States, and we just came back from our research project presentation, and me and another member, Amy, we had we all dressed up to fit the role.
Yeah.
And we still had our heels on because it was just a part of it. And we thought, let's see how long we could go wearing them. So we wore them until we were told we weren't allowed to, and we took them off.
No.
But it was very fun and interesting to see how long we would last in them.
Okay. Now, time to get serious again. What impact do you hope you have had on the other students, especially Mahi and Bella, who has just started FLL last year?
Well, not just only Mahi and Bella, but also the other students as well.
Yes, yeah.
I hope that it shows that you don't have to know everything about robotics, because I definitely did not, and there's still some things I don't really know. But it's just, you're able to do it. Like, don't let anyone tell you can't do this, maybe because of gender or your age or anything like that. And just know that if you really put your mind to it and put in a lot of effort, anything is possible.
What is your leadership style?
I guess I hope I'm not too bossy, but I really let my team do what they think and put in some guidance when they need. And I always love to take in different ideas and suggestions, because I know I definitely don't have the best of them. But just to be very inclusive of others.
Why should kids get involved in FLL?
People should get involved in FLL because it's a great way to develop your skills, especially with, I guess, public speaking as well as coding and research skills. So basic skills, I guess, and it really helps later on, especially in high school.
What do you hope for the future of Synergetics?
Well, I hope that the new team really works well together and keeps the core of why we're called Synergetics, especially our main point being communication, teamwork, and just really working together. And no matter what stage we get to, I just hope that they know that they're doing really well, and yeah.
What do you think it is about this school that helped you up for success?
Definitely the leadership opportunities, and really letting us have a voice in what we do and what we learn and how we do it as well.
What about the future? What do you want to do? Where do you hope to be in 10 years' time?
In 10 years' time, I hope to be graduated from high school. I'm not too sure of where I want to be specifically, but I know I want to be in the medical field because I've always wanted to, I guess, help out in that way, really be, yeah. And I've always wanted to join this organization called Medicine Sans Fronteras, which is a non-for-profit organization that goes to third world countries and has medical aid and help. So in 10 years we'll see.
Is there any last reflections or last words before we wrap it up?
Thank you for having me, and I just hope to see new faces in the teams and just everyone getting involved.
So thank you very much for being here today. We had so much fun interviewing you, and thank you to our audience for watching today's episode. We'll see you next time. Bye.